Hi, you're back at the Digi-Social. It's the week of April 1st. I hope you had a great Easter. I also hope that you're watching this on Hashtags and Haley because that's my website. So I'm going to tell you everything you need to know so that you don't have to go scour the internet any longer and look it up because who has time for that? Well, obviously I do, but you don't, so I'm gonna do it for you. So we're gonna kick it off with the viewed and streamed digital content of the week. So we have to start out with the Roseanne reboot. This is crazy. Since last Tuesday when it premiered, almost 30 million people have watched. Did that many people watch the actual show when it was on? So 6 million of those views were during DVR plays. They weren't live. But, you know, this Roseanne reboot, they got, why do I keep saying reboot? That's not a word. This Roseanne reboot got more views than the Oscars, which is pretty crazy. I think it's definitely the most popular reboot so far. I thought it was gonna be Will and Grace. I thought Will and Grace was gonna be the highest. It's not. But the best part about this is that times have changed because even though the revivals that were primarily watched live on cable or network TV when the original was airing back in the day are now primarily being watched online the next day thanks to the network streaming features. And that is so crazy to me because when the original was on, we did not have these streaming features. And that, people, is called
technology progression.
Now that I've gotten on the internet, I'd rather be on my computer than doing just about anything. I'd rather be on my computer than doing just about anything.
Also, am I the only one that always got Roseanne and Rosie O'Donnell mixed up because they're both loud and have brown hair? So I want to do a little ratings prediction because we got Jersey Day coming up. So the Jersey Shore revival is happening. It premieres this April. Well, it's already April. So it premiered yesterday for you guys, April 5th. And I think it's going to do great. I don't know why so many people are saying like, oh, their glory days are behind them. I really don't think they are. I think people love this show. It's actually been like the only reality show I've ever truly loved because they know that they're just a mess and that's all they're trying to be. Most reality stars, they end up trying to be like a singer or an actress or start their own fashion line. And at the end of the day, they're just reality stars. And the people of Jersey Shore know that. And so I like that. And like Roseanne, many people will catch it online the next day, probably on MTV or on Hulu. And I'm really excited. Also, we can't forget Sammy Sweetheart is not coming back because she said she wants to avoid any toxic situations, probably with her ex-boyfriend Ron. And even though I wish she was back so I could personally enjoy that drama, I have to say for a reality star, that's pretty impressive and honorable. So good job, Sammy. Also, Floribama Shore, you sucked. So the trending topics on Twitter this week, the biggest trending topic was the Dawson's Creek reunion. Have you noticed that the theme of this episode is like reunion, revival, reboot? Anyway, so the Dawson's Creek cast, they reunited on with Entertainment Weekly, and People Magazine's coverage of the event on YouTube got tons of views, and so everyone's tweeting that it's the best 90s reunion since Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and they keep quoting the theme song. Speaking of the theme song, I found out, you know, Dawson's Creek was on the WB. Whenever they decided they wanted to put Dawson's Creek on a streaming platform, Hulu, Netflix, they could not get the rights to the theme song. So if you watched it or if you are watching it on a streaming platform, you may have noticed that the theme song has changed because they could not get the rights from Paula Cole, who sings, I don't wanna wait for our lives to ever. We can't even play it here because she'd probably be pissed and won't give us the rights here. Also, we're pretty broke. Anyway, Paula, you should have given them the rights because you're not even relevant anymore and that would have made you so relevant. Now, EW messed up because they left the parents out. I don't know if they're ageist or what. You heard it here first. Mary Margaret Humes, who played Dawson's mother, you know, Dawson of the Creek, and John Wesley Shipp, who played his father, they were not invited to the reunion, and they told Access Hollywood that they were pretty upset about it. We'll put a link. Can we put links to that interview so you can see Margaret crying about it? So, the hater of the week, I just sniffled. So we have two haters of the week, actually. We have vegan protesters, and then we have a Toronto restaurant owner. So vegans were protesting outside a restaurant in Toronto. It was called Antler Kitchen. And the owner responded by cutting up a deer in front of them. Now, when I say it out loud, it really makes me laugh, but I understand for vegans everywhere, this is very serious. Obviously, he shouldn't have done that. But why are these vegans only targeting this one place? There are a million other places that are serving the exact same thing. So someone in this vegan group has a vendetta against this owner. And I just want to say, if this guy was in LA, he would be dead because people in LA actually care more about the animals than the people. So he would have been carved up. The lesson that seems so hard for people to learn: what you protest, you promote. So, they're protesting in a super aggressive way, so they're kind of promoting aggression, right? The do-gooder of the week was hashtag Oklahoma teachers walk out. So up to 30,000 teachers marched to the state's capital to demand education funding for their schools and a pay raise, of course. Now, teachers should be paid more. I mean, I personally can never be a teacher. I could not handle that. But if I did, I would want some more money. But what I think is interesting is that the kids are the ones calling for gun control, but the teachers, they're not calling for that as much. They're calling for more funding. Education funding is important, but part of education is healthy mental health. So we should bring in some counseling funding, right? Funding for the counseling system at the schools, because part of education is making sure these kids even have the ability to focus in school so that they can be educated. Whenever I've been talking about celebrities or influencers to follow on social media, the trend right now that we started at the Digi-Social is influencers of change, which means not the Instagram models, not even like the people with the great senses of humor who are a walking meme like myself. None of those people. We want really motivational people. I can't talk. We want motivational people, because memes are cool, but wouldn't you rather be inspired? So this week I chose an influential page, and it's called @MotivationMafia, and they're literally here to help you succeed. We'll put up some quotes that will help you succeed. You should follow them. Now, the bonus topic, if I'm being completely serious, we probably don't have time for one, so I'm just gonna say, since we've been protesting things today, we are protesting for positive change and positive energy here at the Digi-Social, and then I'm also gonna promote myself. So we have links here for you guys to subscribe to us, to go to our Facebook. I don't know why I'm doing this. So yeah, do that, okay? And I'll see you next week on the Digi-Social.